Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Warcraft Rumble dungeon guide, I'm going to look at Deadmines on an Undead week, and specifically this Sylvanas Windrunner army that's rather unorthodox in that it doesn't run any unbound minis for Deadmines, but it's very, very effective. First, let's take a quick look at the dungeon mechanics. We first post Mr. Smite, sabers and pistols, then anchors away. The theme of Deadmines generally is free stuff. Smite has free stuff. These are free. These are free. They respawn as well. These are free. There's also going to be a Stonehoof Torrent that's in stealth that's going to come walk through this pipe and then attack your base. And all of that stuff is free. So you're fighting a bit of an uphill battle. The way I like to fight against Mr. Smite is that I like to take this stone. That means that most of the attacks are going to come from this direction. I also like to turn this arrow so that when I fight against the pushes that are coming from here, then my army, after it survives that, then it moves along here over the bridge, and I focus my assaults on Smite to come from here. And that also means that I have easy access to these two gold veins. This gold vein, I just completely abandoned that. I don't want to take this stone either, because if I take this stone, then Smite might start pushing to the other side, and I don't want that to happen. So just move over here, move over here. The Tauren, you can use Whelpex, for example, over here on the pipe, and then they will attack Tauren. You can also use chickens. Chickens are good against Tauren, chickens are good against Prowler. There's multiple alternatives on how you can do this. The second boss, Cookie, takes free stuff to the maximum, because Cookie has all of these squads of free units that it gets. First they come from this side, and then they start to attack you from here, and then they come from this side, gather here and start attacking from here. So they take turns coming from one side and the other, and all of this stuff is free and in addition to what Cookie has usually. For this one, there are 3 lanes. I typically want to take these 2 lanes. The order can differ a little bit, either this one first or this one first. I like to take these chests early, so I often turn these arrows and something to grab those chests, and I like to send a miner at the start, because there's this gold vein with 2 nuggets on it ready, and if you can send a miner out there, then you will get those instead of Cookie. Then you just need some way to handle these big swarms. It can be Living Bomb, Blizzard, Safe Pilot, Whelpex. There's a few alternatives how you can handle those, but some way to handle these and then grab some towers and then push at Cookie. One thing to note is that there's this arrow over here, and you know where the next free squad is going to come from. So it's a good idea to launch your pushes from the center, because then you can control where your push is going to go so that they don't just run straight into free minis, but they can actually get to Cookie. Finally, there's the third boss, Sneed, and Sneed is a really annoying boss where slight lapse in concentration can immediately lose you the game, because there are these 2 platforms. They are connected. When they are sparkly like this, then the next mini that steps on it is going to be destroyed, and 5 copies of that mini are going to come down this lane. And then the platforms go on a cooldown for a little while, and then after a little while they start sparkling again, and then again the next mini that comes is going to come in 5 copies. So you need to pay careful attention to the platforms, pay attention to what gets copied, maybe use some unbound minis so that they get copied instead of something like a Molten Giant. And another thing is that you want to control this bridge, because when the minis come down over here, if you have ranged minis on the bridge, then they can immediately shoot the newcomers before they can do anything. So that can help even if you face something like Molten Giants. Typical strategy against Sneed would involve taking this tower first, then taking this tower, then assaulting Sneed from here, or potentially just defending and then using Whelpex and Quillbore or something unbound spam to just kill Sneed while you're defending against everything that Sneed has to offer. And this is the Sylvanas army that I used. So I'm using Abomination, I'm using Plague Farmer, there's Frostwolf Shaman, Living Bomb, Witch Doctor, and Angry Chickens. The idea being that against Smite, the first map, we have Armored Abomination that's going to do the tanking. We have chickens that can fight against Prowlers, they can fight against the Torrents. We have Plague Farmer and we have Witch Doctor providing DPS and also some protection. And well, Living Bomb doesn't do anything, so that's all you need. Then for the second map, I like to use chickens, for example, to open some chests. I have, again, the Abomination with the healing, and then Abomination and healing is going to be my tank. I also do like to send the chickens from the other side to Cookie's back while there's Abomination tanking. And then an important mini for the second map is the Living Bomb. So Living Bomb is just going to blow away Cookie's big squads that are coming. Even if it's severely underleveled, it can still get the job done. And then there's the third map, Sneed. And Sneed, typically, there's these copy platforms, and typically you want to send some unbounds there so that you get some meaningless stuff copied. But I'm actually now pursuing a bit of a different path, because I'm sending a huge death ball. And that death ball is going to take the leftmost tower, it's going to take the rightmost tower, and the difficult part typically is after the rightmost tower, you still need to move over the platform, but I'm building such a big death ball that I don't care what gets copied. If it's an abomination, if it's a shaman, I don't care. They are so very slow, it takes them ages to get to my base. My death ball is going to beat Sneed before the copied minis can reach my base. So I just don't care. Okay, you can copy something. I don't mind. I'm just going to go out there and beat up Sneed. And this is what it all looks like in action. And here we go up against Smite. I have intentionally picked pretty much the worst relics, except for the relics that are actually making you worse. I haven't picked those ones. Yeah, Darkmoon Price will, you know who you are. Anyway, I've intentionally picked some of the worst relics so that I will be able to showcase how this strategy works, even if you get no help from relics whatsoever. And here I have a pretty disastrous start against Smite actually. There was Execute and other stuff, and I lost my abomination, and now I'm a little wondering, okay, well, how exactly am I going to get an assault off? As an upside, I did manage to take the rightmost stone. It's still important to grab that rightmost stone. So because by grabbing the rightmost stone, I get into a position where the pushes are coming from the left and I can defend the left, and then we go through the middle and start pushing at Smite. But here we have another Execute and we have another Dead Abomination. Okay, 2 Dead Abominations. This is the worst possible start, pretty much. The opponent's hand was just like perfectly in sync, countering what I had. But I'm not going to give up, because why would I give up? My base is at full health. I have gold. I have not lost a lot of gold here. Things looking quite alright, actually. Alright, well, there's that Mountaineer coming, and there's other stuff coming, but we chill a little bit. We drop a 3rd Abomination. Because if the first Abomination and the 2nd Abomination don't get the job done, then what about the 3rd Abomination? Maybe that gets better. And I have a Plague Farmer defending. Base can also tank a little bit. Never ignore the opportunity that your base can actually tank. Your base is able to do that. Like now we're 2 levels lower, we can still tank. Not as much as an even leveled base or over-leveled base, but it can still tank some damage. That Prowler is really scary though. Here, another Execute. But hey, this time I actually have 2 Shamans, and they are keeping the Abomination alive. And I drop a Witch Doctor here, and I'm getting some shields, and Abomination is getting healed by the double Shaman. Look at this. This was an absolute disaster of a start at -2 levels. But now it's all coming back. It's all going alright. Just look at the Abomination. It's already over half health. Just mere moments ago it was just about dead. And now I'm sending a 2nd Abomination. Well, it will be overall the 4th Abomination, but 2nd for this push. And all of a sudden I have a push that has 2 Abominations and 3 Shamans. And do you know what 3 Shamans do? Because 3 Shamans, they heal, and they heal, and they heal some more. And there's some Witch Doctors, so we get some shields, so we don't even take as much damage. And now there's a Tauren coming, but hey, what's 1 Tauren against a group of angry chickens, right? 4 Shamans. 4 Shamans. Just that healing is now completely off the charts. We're healing so much. We're getting some poison in with the Plague Farmers. Yeah, you can try to Execute, but we have Witch Doctor shields too, and boom. Smite went down despite the disastrous start. Great start for the dungeon. Then it's time to meet Cookie. And here I like to send a miner to the right, and I like to send something that opens the chests very, very quickly. And here we're opening the chests, and that means that we have some time to drop an Abomination, armored Abomination out there. And then we're trying to save for the Living Bomb. Now we get the chests opened, 5 gold, 6 gold, Living Bomb time. Boom. Alright, all the ranged minis are dead. The tank minis are still alive, which is a bit of a bummer, but what do you know? Also, I'm sending this Plague Farmer now from rightmost part of the left deployment zone, because see what happens. Look at that. Now when the Plague Farmer is walking that line, it walks to the left, but it goes within range of the tower and it actually starts shooting at the tower from the other lane. That's one beautiful position. It can really help you take out the towers. Alright, next up, another squad coming, so we living bomb them. It's gonna be fine. Then I want the chest. And now my Abomination is tanking. And that Abomination is getting healed by 2 shamans. Now 3 shamans. It's going to tank Cookie for a while. And that means that I can send chickens. Chickens are great DPS. But obviously Cookie needs to swing at them once and they die. But look at this. Look at where the chickens are. Look at what's going on with Cookie's health. And boom, Cookie's down. Chickens. And finally, Sneed. I don't have a single build that has 100% success rate against Sneed. Because when you just run into a really bad swing of copying, anytime you can always lose. It's always possible. But this build, I would say that you should be able to win around 50% of the time. And, well, 50% of the time is enough. You always get at least 2 attempts. So here we go. We're making the big push. And there's a Bat Rider, but hey, we shoot down the Bat Rider as well. Those Bat Riders can be a little awkward with this one, because I don't have any safe pilots to shoot them down. I rely on Witch Doctor and the Shaman. But those are kind of okay. They should still be able to get the job done most of the time. And now we're going to get a copy, and that copy is going to be the Molten Giant. Oh no, so what am I going to do? I'm playing this 2 levels under-leveled and I'm getting a copied Molten Giant. Well, I also have some shamans healing my armored Abomination, and I have some poison being shot at those Molten Giants from above. So, all of a sudden, pack of Molten Giants, it's becoming smaller. And it's becoming smaller, and it no longer exists, and oh boy. Those were the Molten Giants. And actually, those Molten Giants now even helped me develop this push. Triple Shamans, double Abominations. I'm always able to send the Shaman also from my base, like where I sent the second Abomination. I could have sent Abomination plus Shaman through there, if there was no Molten Giant to fight against. And now my Death Ball is here, and I don't have an Unbound. If I had an Unbound, I could drop the Unbound on the platform, and that would get copied instead of something from my Death Ball, so that's obviously not fun. But hey, look at what's going on here. They copied my Abomination, they have 5 copies of Abomination going. I'm 2 levels under. But those Abominations have a long way to walk towards my base, whereas my Death Ball has a short walk towards Sneed. And pow. Sneed actually went down. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.